What is up, beasts? Welcome back to a new video. Today I want to talk about 10 mistakes people make in Call of Duty Ghosts, and it is because of these mistakes I believe most of these people stop playing Call of Duty Ghosts after a while, and they just say that Ghosts is bad and whatever. But the game is definitely not the worst Call of Duty ever. I just think that people are not using the correct things when they play the game. Now, if you are a good Ghost player and if you don't use any of these things, then it is okay. This video is more focused on noobs and the mistakes I see noobs making while playing the game, and they just get destroyed over and over again. And I believe that, as I said, a lot of people don't like the game because they're getting destroyed. They're not using the things they should be using. So without further ado, the first thing on this list, the first mistake noobs make in Call of Duty Ghosts is not using the perk Dead Silence. With Dead Silence you make your footsteps silent, and in Call of Duty Ghosts running around without this perk is a very bad idea because the footsteps are very loud and people can hear you from a mile away. You can get Dead Silence pretty much after playing 2 games because the creator class system in Call of Duty Ghosts is awesome. You get squad points that allow you to unlock whatever you want, and as I said, after 2 games get Dead Silence if you want to, and that way you will be silent and no nerds will be able to hear you unless they are using Amplify, which is a perk that counters Dead Silence, which is dumb, but it is what it is. Only sweaty nerds at this point use Dead Silence in Call of Duty Ghosts. The next mistake on this list is not using another perk, which is Focus. Focus is great for when you're running around, you see someone and you start shooting his ass. If he shoots back and if you don't have focus, you're gonna be shooting at the moon. You're gonna flinch, and it's impossible to come back after you start flinching. And in Call of Duty Ghosts, because you die so fast, you're gonna flinch for 1 second and then you're gonna die. So make sure that if you're running around, which is what you should be doing like a freaking beast, you need to use focus. Otherwise you're not going to be able to kill anyone, because if they see you first, you're gonna die. You will have no chance. And I feel that a lot of people, they're just like, oh my god, it is impossible to kill these guys because I'm always shooting at the moon, the flinch is insane, and then they start camping. And they start camping because they're not using this perk. I'm telling you, use this perk, noobs out there, use this thing, you'll be able to get more kills and you'll be able to have more fun playing the game. The mistake number 3, ladies and gentlemen, is not using Sit Rep. Sit Rep is a perk that allows you to spot enemy equipment and enemy ground kill streaks through walls. One of the biggest problems in Call of Duty Ghosts for most of the Call of Duty community is the equipment IED. Campers love spamming IEDs all over the place and they are very hard to detect, and most of the time when those things go off, you die. If you use Sit Rep, you will have no problem finding IEDs. This perk is a 3-in-1 win perk, let me tell you why. Reason number 1, when you use Sit Rep, as I said, you can find the IEDs, therefore the IEDs will not kill you. Number 2, by using Sit Rep, you can also find enemy ground kill streaks, and by destroying these ground kill streaks you will get extra points, which is as much as getting a kill, which is awesome because it will allow you to get your kill streaks faster. And also by finding the IEDs, ladies and gentlemen, you are finding the campers. So if you find an IED, don't shoot it, make sure that the IED stays right there where it is. Try to flank, try to find another entrance to where the camper is hiding, camping, and then shoot his ass. It is freaking awesome. Mistake number 4, not using Marathon. Now I think that I mean, this is not really required using Marathon, but I cannot play Call of Duty Ghosts without using Marathon because it gives you unlimited sprint, and because the maps, and because some maps are a little bit too big, with Marathon they don't feel as big, and this is another problem that people have with Call of Duty Ghosts. Everyone is like, oh, the maps are so big. Well, if you use Marathon, which as I said gives you unlimited sprint, you can be all over the place super fast. You can flank campers. It is so much freaking enjoyable to play Call of Duty Ghosts with Marathon than without Marathon. Yeah, if you play without this perk, I mean, Call of Duty Ghosts is super boring because you look like a freaking slug. The next mistake is not using a Ready Up. Now this is only a perk that you should use if you are using a marathon. If you are running around all over the place like a freaking diabolical beast, as I said, that's what I like doing. I like being all over the place, killing motherfuckers here, killing motherfuckers there. I freaking love it. When you are running around, if you don't have a Ready Up, when an enemy appears, it will take you a while to get your gun up and then start shooting the enemy. With Ready Up, it is super fast. You're running around, you see motherfucker, you immediately get your gun up, boom, he is dead. So if you want to play like a beast, if you want to run around all over the place, make sure that you use a Ready Up. The next mistake is not aiming down the sights before going around corners. Now, Marathon and Ready Up is a great combination of perks for running around on, like, I don't know, corridors, straight lines, whatever, something like that. But when you go around the corner, you can't really sprint, so you're gonna stop, right? And when you do this, you gotta aim down the sights and be ready for someone coming around that corner, or for a camper waiting for you to come around the corner. Many players like using Stalker. This helps a lot when going around corners, but I like using all these perks I just mentioned, and I don't really have space for Stalker, so it's a perk that I don't really need to use, and it kind of messes up your accuracy when shooting people because you really move super fast from left to right. You kind of look like a little ballerina, but that's something you should do, and that's something a lot of people don't do in Call of Duty Ghosts and in other Call of Duties. Aiming down the sights before going around corners, it is very important to do this. You can't go around the corner like a headless chicken unprepared, because you're gonna die. The next mistake on this list is not using the throwing knife. Instead of using, I don't know, IEDS or C4 like a freaking scrub, carry a throwing knife. I am telling you, it will help you way more in using, as I said, the IEDs or the C4 or whatever, or like for example a stun grenade. In Call of Duty Ghosts, the only equipment you can get by using Scavenger or by using the ammo crate is the throwing knife. So if you have Scavenger or if you're using the ammo crate, you will have unlimited throwing knives, which is very helpful when you are playing against people spamming guard dogs all over the place. The throwing knife is a one-hit kill against the guard dogs, and that is freaking awesome. It is also one-hit kill against the support squad mate, which can be a little bit annoying. You can also just knife the squad mate with, you know, with your normal knife. But yeah, the guard dog is definitely another big complaint that people have when it comes to Call of Duty Ghosts. They're like, oh, Call of Duty Ghosts is nothing but campers and IEDs and guard dogs. Well, if you use the throwing knife, you will kill the guard dog super fast. The next mistake on this list is not using a silencer. I mean, you don't have to use the silencer if you are a good player, but if you are a noob, definitely try using a silencer, because this way people will never see you. And in Call of Duty Ghosts, most of the players, they don't like moving, alright? They are allergic to running around, so they're just camping in their little hole waiting for that red dot on the minimap, and then as soon as they see it, boom, they will kill your ass. So with silencer, you can kill a camper here, you can kill a camper there, and they will never see you. In certain Call of Duty games, I don't really care about the silencer, but in Call of Duty Ghosts, I just cannot play without it, and if you are a noob, it's definitely gonna help you. The mistake number 9, ladies and gentlemen, this is another big complaint about most of the Call of Duty community, which is that the kill streaks are boring and they are useless and they suck and all that stuff. Well, if you start using the support kill streaks and even the assault kill streaks, but especially the support, you will have a lot of fun playing Call of Duty Ghosts. As most of you already know, I love doing the Juggernaut army, which is I use the Juggernaut suit, the support one, and I use the Odin, which gives me another Juggernaut, and then my teammates use the same kill streaks too, and then we all get the kill streaks and deploy them at the same time. We do this on the map Strike Zone because it is the smallest map in the game, and then we have a blast killing little Jimmies with our Juggernaut suits. But then you also have the Helo Scout with the sniper rifle, which is also a lot of fun to use. You have the support squad mate that helps you play the objective and can fight guard dogs and can fight Juggernauts and can fight, you know, enemy players. So the kill streaks in Call of Duty Ghosts are a lot of fun. You just need to know how to have fun with these things. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the last mistake on this list is not having anti-nerds and anti-slobs class setups ready to go whenever you need. You know, sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire. Sometimes you gotta let these guys get a taste of their own venom. You gotta show them that what they're doing is not fun. So for example, I like having two class setups, one for honey badger nerds on the map strike zone. Whenever I'm playing against a full party of nerds with gold honey badgers and amplify and all that disgusting stuff, I like using the shield with C4. I like using the Moss too, which is a kill streak, and I just wreck these nerds. And the second class is an M27 IR with the thermal sight and armor piercing, so that I can destroy kill streaks that these camping slobs, also using the M27 with a thermal sight, get by camping. And you know, if you're getting kill streaks by camping like a slob, you don't deserve to get them, and I will try to immediately destroy them with this LMG and armor piercing. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your opinion in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. Peace out.